Hello everyone, to the JCast Network. I'm your host, Herman. What's a movie that personifies Jewishness? For me, that's The Hebrew Hammer, with the opportunity to speak to the director and writer, Jonathan Kesselman, about how he got into the business, Hebrew Hammer, and his upcoming movie, Hebrew Hammer versus Hitler. Let's take a closer look.
I was always obsessed with movies, and I remember I saw a documentary on your show of shows, like the Sid Caesar show, when I was sort of going through my existential crisis, and I just realized I was put on this earth to make fun of people, and and I decided to go to film school. So I went to graduate school for film at USC, and my second semester there, I did a little film called The Hebrew Hammer. It was a 5-minute short that became this sort of this sensation at the school, and ended up graduating and going off to New York to make the feature film version of it.
And you know, The Hebrew Hammer was one of those films that like transcended Jewishness, in that you really captured the comedic genius of what Jews really have done throughout the entertainment industry, but made it in such a unique way. Were you surprised about how it was received?
You know, I knew I wasn't surprised how it was received. I don't know if I was surprised. I was when I first, like when you're making something and you're so passionate about something, you think of course everyone should, I don't know, should respond to it, and it just took people a while to kind of, it took people a while to sort of catch up to it. I think people were scared of it at the time when it came out. So it was, am I surprised? No, I'm happy. Your goal as a filmmaker is to make a cultural dent to make, especially with comedy. My goal is, people always say to me, what do you want out of comedy? I want to make people laugh as much as I possibly can, as hard as I possibly can for an hour and a half. And we had no money, but we had a good script and we had good people, and I'm happy that it found an audience eventually. It just took a while, and I'm excited about the second one.
And was there a part of the movie where, like, as you were writing it and like coming it to fruition, was there something that surprised you? That you didn't expect, like, whenever you come, sort of like when the character comes off the page, is there anything where you're like, wow, that was amazing, I was not expecting that?
Well, on the best things I've ever written, and the things that are things that they happen very quickly. Like I wrote that movie in 17 days, believe it or not, and wow. It doesn't feel like, it just sounds like a cliche, but it didn't feel like I was writing it. I felt like I could see 3 or 4 scenes ahead of what I was doing, and it just was coming out of me. And it's those things when you're just so excited, and I wasn't sleeping much. I was just so excited to write it. You just know it's good, and things do surprise you because it's just coming out of you, and so it's like, I think that part's exciting. And there's been about 4 or 5 things that I've written that have had that sort of have that feel for me, where it's sort of I just know it's it all lays itself out for you. You just know it, and it works. So yeah.
And now you're coming off a very successful Jewcer campaign to make the sequel out, or maybe I'm not sure. Is it a sequel or is it something totally different? So tell us about the vision.
I'm very excited. It's like I said, I was I grew up obsessed with Mel Brooks, and and really it was seeing Sid Caesar, the documentary Sid Caesar and Mel Brooks, and all these amazing comedy writers in the same room. But I worshipped the feet of Mel Brooks, and I was a big fan of History of the World Part 1, and when I wrote the sequel, I'm not doing History of the World Part 1. It's my own movie, but it's basically it's a time travel movie. It involves a Time Sukkah, and great moments in Jewish history is rewritten by Hitler and the Hebrew Hammer and Mohammed Ali, Paula, Abdul, Rahim, going back in time and chasing Hitler through time and sort of undoing his wrongs. And I think it's a better film than the first one. I'm a better writer now, and I'm older, and God, that sounds ridiculous. I'm older and better writer. No, but I think it's a better script. I'm more excited about this one than I was the first one. I was very excited about the first one. So and I'm also, it was good to see, like, doing the Jewcer campaign. What was great about that was sort of seeing the reach it had, and just by putting it out there within the first week, we were on we were on the front page of Salon.com, and then Israel just came out of we were on Channel 2 News, the most watched nightly news show in Israel, reached out to us, and we were, on Israel Hayom, and then, just the media was very kind. People people still love the movie. People still have fond feelings for the movie, which feels very good, as you can imagine. And yeah, I'm just excited to make the second one and get it going.
Yeah, as I was reading and then watching your video about the movie, History World definitely popped in right away. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Like, there's just so much you can do. There's so much richness, and then there's like the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure type of thing coming in. And so, like, where are you with that process?
So yeah, from the campaign, a couple of investors reached out to me. One investor made a verbal commitment to me, and so right now, I have a short agreement with the rights holders, the content film, and now I just have a lawyer who's going to basically do what's essentially a long-form contract for the rights, and then if this investor in Los Angeles is for real, and he seems to be very for real, Israeli actually, we'll be making it in the summer. And if not that, there are other investors who've expressed interest. This guy, we're putting up most of the money, so that seems like just a good fit. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'm thinking late spring or summer to make the film. And Adam's back in as a Judy Greer, and about to make an offer, and I have a couple ideas for Hitler, and been sort of using, which is great about crowdfunding, is getting the internet's ideas on who they think would be a great Hitler, and that's been getting some amazing ideas from people and from friends, and some of my own ideas, and that'll be fun too, with seeing who plays Hitler.
That's, I guess, the most exciting thing, where you're crowdfunding and then you're crowdsourcing.
Well, yeah, I crowdsource my doctor. Like if I have a bad shot, and so it's like, people don't realize film's a collaborative. Obviously, like I'll make the final decision, but I want to, it's like I want to hear what people think. This is really a movie for the fans, and I'm excited to hear what fans want to see. Because again, it's sort of, there's so many different ways to play Hitler, and so many great ideas, and the crowdfunding too is great because it's sort of doing videos with my mom, and sort of just keeping people in the loop is part of the process is fun. And I think in terms of film, like there's always this mystery that's there, and it's like it's not a mystery. It's like this is a creative process, and to involve the fans in it and sort of keep people sort of in the loop as to what's going on, I think makes it a cooler experience for me and for the people who are fans of the film.
Yeah, and one of the I guess interesting parts of the way you went about the funding is that you went to a different type of platform. Like there's different types of fundraising outlets, and Jewcer is one of the newer ones. And obviously, because it's a Jewish type of platform, you get to look differently, and I guess find those seeds, which then could lead to other types of opportunities. Yeah, so how did you pick Jewcer?
It was I didn't know. I still don't. I'm still learning about crowdfunding because this is a new thing for me. And I was actually crowdsourcing on Facebook about what site should it be, Kickstarter. And by the way, I'm gonna blow my nose on camera. Here we go. It's cold.
Just exclusive, boys and girls.
Yeah, there you go. This is real Hebrew Hammer snot. Here, you can look at it. I was crowdsourcing. Just on Facebook. What's better, Indiegogo. Kickstarter, and a friend of mine, or a Facebook friend of mine, was like, "What about Jewcer?" And I'm like, "Well, what's Jewcer?" And literally a second later, the CEO of Jewcer, Amir Givon, is like, "Jonathan, nice to meet," and he's just, what it was and why I chose them was with Kickstarter and any of the other sites, you're on your own in terms of how you're doing it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and so Jewcer is basically very hands-on and sort of acted as part of the campaign, and it was a great fit. And I figured, if you can't have like Jewish or Hebrew sort of cutesified in the title, but you're doing for the Hebrew Hammer, what are you doing exactly, right?
Do you have a favorite line in Hebrew Hammer?
In the first one or the second one?
The first one and second one, yeah.
Well, like the iconic line of the first one, Shabbat Shalom, motherfuckers. But my favorite scene in the Hebrew Hammer was the talk dirty to me scene, and it's weird because you don't know what's gonna. I'm very proud of the movie, but you don't know what's gonna pop. And when I wrote that scene, I didn't think that was gonna be the best scene in the movie, but in my opinion, it's the best scene in the movie, and it worked on so many different levels. And we shot it. We had such little money. We had to be out of this apartment. We shot it with it by midnight. So we were so behind the schedule. It was one take on each actor. So it was one take on each setup. We had basically a master. We had some singles and an over, but we we had such such sparse coverage. It didn't matter because Adam and Judy were so good in the scene, and it was just it was one of those things that just worked out perfectly.
And what about the second movie?
God, there's you know what, I got to tell you, I'm very excited about the script. I rewrote it during the Jewcer campaign. A friend of mine who's coming on as executive producer, a guy named Adam F. Goldberg, who's not the Adam Goldberg, but a different Adam. He's a great comedy writer, and he pitched me a bunch of great ideas, as did Adam Goldberg. And just going back and revisiting the script after sort of writing it and putting it away a couple of years ago, it's like it's on steroids right now. I'm still very excited about it, and which is it's nice because you forget that you get excited about things you're working on. You just get so jaded there sometimes. But what great lines I have. I don't want to give it away, but it's such a bigger, more wild, and I think it's a better movie. And I'm very proud of the first one. I'm not saying the first one's not a good movie. I love the first one, but I think it ups the ante in so many different ways, and I'm excited.
In your Jewcer campaign, you brought in even your mother.
Yes.
And what does she think about your process and now getting the green light and getting the money?
I don't think she thinks much outside of her own sort of bubble of herself. So I don't, what does she think? I think the conversation, if you have a conversation, will usually kind of steer back towards her and sort of her injury of the week or her gas or some other sort of very narcissistic mother thing. So I don't think she really. I'm sure she's very happy for me. I think at some level, but again, it's one of those things where until the film's done, it's not good enough, and then it'll be good enough for like a second, and then she'll disown me or something. So.
And where can people learn more about the movie?
Well, you can go to the website hammerversushitler.com, or go to hammerversushitler.com, or always check out what I have my own site for my company, which is the worldwidemediaconspiracy.com. And I'll be updating sort of in terms of where we are in terms of casting, and I think actually even better than that, on Facebook through the campaign there's a let me look it up because again I'm not as digitally savvy as I should be. It's on Facebook, and I'll tell you where exactly to go. It's the Hebrew Hammer Facebook page, which is we have a great guy named Aaron McAbee who's running it, and it's been let me take a look here. The Hebrew Hammer 2. So I guess is that II? Yeah, the Hebrew Hammer II, as in Roman numeral 2. That's where you can go, and there'll be all sorts. I'll keep doing stuff with my mom, and as we get into production with the actors and the videos, updates, and thank you for supporting and liking, and it's going to be the best comedy of next year. If it's not, like I said in the Jewcer video, I'm a liar, but I'm pretty excited about the script, and like the first one, you like this one better.
Great. Well, good luck. I look forward to hearing more about the movie, and can't wait to see it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. See you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
As you can see, crowdfunding is a wonderful resource to help bring your ideas to the forefront. And through Jewcer, the Hebrew Hammer versus Hitler is going to become a reality. This is Herman, and thank you for watching.